The programs are usually government-run programs in which accepted participants receive a fixed amount of money for a period of time, though. In many cases, no conditions are placed on how participants use the proceeds. Advocates of this dynamic say it helps people recover from the crisis. And those who oppose universal basic income programs say it discourages people from finding work. But still, many families got used to the monthly child tax credits, but since the Build Back Better Act did not pass before Congress adjourned for the holidays, the expanded monthly child tax credit payments have been temporarily paused. More than 36 million families across the country received the latest batch of advanced monthly payments, totaling about $16 billion, but the good news is that the White House has suggested the IRS could send out double payments in February as an alternative. In the meantime, households are adjusting their budgets to prepare for higher prices and less stimulus money. But there are many states with dollars to disperse. I know many of you are wondering what are the universal basic income programs throughout the country that are sending out checks right now. Well, first in Alaska, the Permanent Fund Dividend pays eligible Alaska residents investment earnings of mineral royalties. The 2021 Permanent Fund Dividend amount is around $1,200, and the fund started going out late last year. The state is also looking to help residents with their winter heating bills. Over in Arizona, the state's Back to Work program is offering a one-time bonus of $2,000. Bonuses are going to be awarded after the individual has stopped receiving unemployment benefits and has completed the work requirements with a qualifying employer. And about $300 million was set aside for this program. But funding is available on a first-come, first-served basis. The program will end when the money runs out, but it has been reported that more than 26,000 people applied for the bonus. But the state has paid out less than half of them, though payouts are ongoing. In the state of California also, states sent out stimulus checks for the final round. The checks range between $600 to $1,100. Paper checks are being mailed by the last 3 digits of your zip code, and they will continue to be sent through January 11th, 2022. Plus, the city of Los Angeles launched its Guaranteed Income Pilot Program. In 2022, eligible families will receive $1,000 for 1 year, which is really great to see. And I know that right now can be a very difficult time, especially with prices of essentials going up.
And so what we do here is we want to have the best educated workforce, and that's why universal pre-K is going to mean so much. And it also, it also increases exponentially the prospect of that child being able to, no matter what her background or his or her background, get through 12 years of school and then go on to a 2 or 4 year college. And students show, and these studies have been done by a lot of the great universities, that I think it's an economic necessity to have the best educated workforce. And take clean energy manufacturing. We're bringing American manufacturing back. Or I should say, you all are bringing American manufacturing back, and we're helping along the way here. The industrial Midwest, believe it or not, is coming back. I got here when I was 20 to 30 years old, and the industrial Midwest was still going strong, but it's coming back, doing some of the most sophisticated manufacturing in the world. A real breakthrough began last year when Mary Barra, excuse me, Mary, for referring to her, I said it again, and Jim Farley of Ford, GM and Ford, and some of the key labor leaders announced that they're moving to all-electric future for vehicles. Just yesterday, Mary and GM announced a $7 billion investment to build electric vehicles in Michigan. It's going to create 4,000 new jobs. And last year, I was up at Ford's plant in Dearborn, Michigan, to see that all-electric 150 as part of Ford's $11 billion investment in electric vehicles. That's going to create 11,000 new jobs. And as part of the over $100 billion committed over the last year, American Auto Manufacturing is going to build electric vehicles and batteries and build them in the United States of America. And we all know how important it is to manufacturing to have the necessary component parts here in America, made in America. And last week, I point out that Intel announced a $20 billion plan to build a semiconductor manufacturing facility in Ohio, one of the largest of its kind in our nation's history. It's going to create 10,000 jobs. And I might add, one of the reasons for inflation being high as it is, 1/3 of the reason inflation is up is the cost of vehicles. And the reason the cost of vehicles is up is they don't have the component parts, meaning significantly the semiconductors. Last year, other top manufacturers committed $80 billion in new semiconductor facilities across the nation beyond what Intel just announced. It's going to create thousands of jobs, thousands of good-paying jobs. And my new infrastructure law is going to build out more than 50,000 charging stations for electric vehicles across the country, creating better-paying jobs for thousands of workers. And the IBEW is going to be really very busy putting all of those in all over the country. And that's just a start. Our Build Back Better plan, I say ours, is going to do even more in my view. Combined with the infrastructure law, we're making the biggest investment in clean energy manufacturing ever in American history. And this is about here and now and the future. Our Build Back Better plan is paid for. It doesn't increase the deficit. And maybe the best news of all, it will actually help alleviate inflation. The fact that 17 Nobel laureates in economics say that the Build Back Better initiative will ease inflation pressures in the future is somewhat reassuring. The bottom line is, a lot of folks refer to this as just social spending. Well, I see it, but I see it this way. The Build Back Better plan lowers prices for families and gets people working. It creates the best educated workforce, and hopefully in the world, and ensures that we remain the most dynamic and productive economy in the world. It's good for families, it's good for the economy, and it's good for the country. And so I'm grateful for the support of the CEOs that are here. I know they're somewhat busy, to say the least, and they represent a broad spectrum of the economy and employ workers across the country, from senior executives to high-skill entry-level workers. And so I look forward to the input today that we're going to be having here and their expertise. And now let's get started with this meeting.
Justice Breyer, Mr. President, Justice Breyer is going to retire.
Let's go. Thank you. Let's go. Thank you.
Your thoughts on Justice Breyer's retirement, sir?
Thank you. Let's go. Thank you, guys. Let's go. Thank you.
We're not. Guys, we continue with the meeting, please. Thanks so much.
Every justice has the right and opportunity to decide what he or she is going to do and announce it on their own. There has been no announcement from Justice Breyer. Let him make whatever statement he's going to make, and I'll be happy to talk about it later. Thank you so much.
Mr. President, so we're going to